NBA fans, buckle up. Because what I'm about to tell you is the kind of breaking news that stops the entire basketball world in its tracks. Rumors have been swirling, sources have been whispering, and executives around the league are reportedly sweating right now. The idea sounded impossible months ago, unlikely weeks ago, but today, it's suddenly real enough that people inside the Warriors and Suns organizations are refusing to deny it. Kevin Durant returning to the Golden State Warriors in a blockbuster trade with the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, you heard that right. KD. Back in the Bay. And the NBA might never be the same again if this thing actually happens. Now, before you think this is just some random rumor floating around social media, let me tell you something. Anytime there's smoke around Kevin Durant and the Warriors, history has shown there's usually something cooking behind the scenes. The Warriors have been desperate to reshape their roster, the Suns have been imploding internally, and KD has been visibly frustrated with Phoenix's inconsistent direction. And suddenly, insiders are reporting that Golden State sees this as the final, last chance opportunity to maximize Stephen Curry's championship window. Steph is 37 next season. The front office knows time is running out. They don't want Curry to spend the final few years of his career watching the playoffs from home, or getting bounced in the first round because the roster just isn't good enough. So the Warriors are trying to do something historic. Something bold. Something that could rewrite the final chapter of Steph's legacy. And that something is Kevin Durant. People forget how quickly things can change in the NBA. One bad season. One locker room blow-up. One frustrated superstar. And suddenly, a franchise is forced to make decisions that were unthinkable just months ago. And that's exactly what's happening in Phoenix right now. The Suns went all in last season. They created a super team with Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, but the results were disappointing, to say the least. No deep playoff run. No chemistry. No consistency. And worst of all, no clear plan moving forward. The roster is expensive, top-heavy, and has almost no depth. Their new owner Matt Ishbia has been aggressive, sometimes too aggressive, and people inside the franchise are saying the pressure is starting to crack the locker room. So when you step back and look at the situation, it actually makes perfect sense that they're at least listening to calls for KD. No team wants to trade a superstar, but no team wants to be stuck in no man's land either. And this is where the Warriors come in. Joe Lacob, Mike Dunleavy Jr. and Steve Kerr have all reportedly agreed on one thing: they need a massive shake-up. Not a small move. Not a role player. Not a mid-level bench piece. They need a superstar. A real one. Someone who can relieve pressure from Steph, someone who can punish double teams, someone who can carry the offense when Curry is off the floor. And guess what? They already know the perfect guy. They already have championship chemistry with him. They already have the blueprint for winning with him. And that guy is Kevin Durant. Imagine the NBA world if this actually happens. Imagine waking up to a WOJ bomb or Shams alert that says, "Breaking, Golden State Warriors acquire Kevin Durant in Blockbuster trade." Social media would literally explode. The league would freeze. Every fanbase would start screaming instantly. And the reactions, oh man, the reactions would be wild. Some would say it's cheating. Some would call the Warriors unbeatable again. Some would call KD the greatest scorer to ever touch a basketball. And others, well, others would be furious that the Warriors' dynasty isn't dead yet. But let's talk about why Durant would even consider this. Why would he leave Phoenix? Why would he return to a franchise that he once left because he wanted his own chapter? The answer is actually simple: Kevin Durant loves basketball. He wants to win. He wants to be in a system that maximizes his talent. And say whatever you want about Golden State, but no team on earth makes basketball easier for KD than the Warriors. In Phoenix, KD has had to play hero ball far too often. No ball movement. No off-ball actions. No consistent system. It's a team built on isolation scoring. But in Golden State, Durant becomes unstoppable. A nuclear offensive weapon surrounded by screens, cuts, and constant movement. Defenses can't double him. Defenses can't trap him. Defenses can't load up on him. He becomes the most efficient version of himself. It's why he won 2 Finals MVPs there. It's why he dominated every playoff series he played with the Warriors. And don't forget, Steph Curry has been publicly supportive of KD ever since he left. There's zero beef. Zero ego problems. Zero conflict. Steph welcomed Durant once, and he would welcome him again without hesitation. But here's where things get even crazier. People close to the situation are saying that the Warriors have quietly positioned themselves to make the biggest trade package they've ever offered. They're reportedly ready to move young players, picks, and even big contracts if that's what it takes. Jonathan Kuminga could be part of the negotiations. Moses Moody. Maybe even Andrew Wiggins. And the Suns, who desperately need depth, defense, and reliable role players, might actually consider it. Think about it. The Suns don't need another superstar, they need a real basketball team. They need a bench. They need athletes. They need defenders. They need people who can play roles instead of 3 stars who all need the ball. And here's the shocking part, KD might not fight it. People think Durant forces his way out of every situation, but he's actually not like that. KD just wants to hoop. He wants to be in a place where he can play pure basketball. And Golden State is exactly that. Add in the fact that Durant loved his time with Steph, respected Kerr deeply, and enjoyed the culture of the Warriors, and suddenly this trade doesn't sound impossible. It starts to sound logical. Even inevitable. Now let's talk about what this would mean for the league. If Kevin Durant returns to the Warriors, the Western Conference immediately shifts. The Warriors go from an aging, uncertain team to instant championship contenders. Not maybe. Not possibly. But legitimately the most dangerous offensive system in basketball again. Imagine a starting lineup of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson or his replacement, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and whoever fills that center spot. That's deadly. That's unfair. That's the kind of lineup that makes defenses panic before the ball even crosses half court. And you know what else? It would transform Steph Curry's final years into something unforgettable. Fans have been begging the Warriors to give Curry more help. To not waste his late prime. To not let him carry an inconsistent roster on his back. Steph deserves one more real title run. One more shot at glory. And bringing back Kevin Durant might be the final piece that gives him that chance. It would also change KD's legacy forever. Durant has taken so much criticism for leaving Golden State. Critics said he ran away from success. That he tried to build something in Brooklyn but failed. That Phoenix was another gamble that didn't pay off. But if KD returns to Golden State and wins another title? That conversation flips instantly. Durant would be remembered as the guy who helped restore the Warriors' dynasty, not end it. And Steph would become the superstar who unselfishly embraced another Hall of Fame talent to win at the highest level again. But the biggest question isn't if the Warriors want KD. They do. The biggest question isn't if KD would play well there. He would. The biggest question is this: would Phoenix actually trade him? That's where things get complicated. The Suns have invested so much into Durant. They traded away a massive haul to get him. They believed he was the missing piece that would take them to a championship. But after another disappointing season, you have to ask, how long can they keep forcing something that clearly isn't working? How long can a franchise pretend everything is fine when the results show otherwise? And this is why the rumor hasn't gone away. People inside the league know the Suns are under pressure. They know the front office is divided. They know players are unhappy with their roles. And they know that if this continues, someone big is getting traded.